They opened with small arms fire coming from about 3 to 4 directions. Took a casualty.
That was one time I thought we were in a pretty bad situation.
It was a pretty intense fight. They were shooting at us when the medevac bird landed. 3-4 insurgents in different positions opened a fire.
This is the real thing. It's not just in books, it's not TV, it's not the movies. This is real.
This is Cop Kandalay, a combat outpost on the outskirts of a tiny village in Kandahar province where US troops and the Afghan army are holding the front line against the Taliban.
Taliban around here, they're actually, these guys are pretty sporty. Shooting at A&A down the road, AMP, shooting at us, and then they'll go a week or two with doing nothing.
In a bad week, injuries are sustained almost every day. The first platoon has just come back to Cop Kandalay after being attacked by accurate fire.
We were sending TCP along right red stripe to interdict any Taliban with weapons, moving up and down that avenue of approach. Key route for the Taliban. We were sitting there, we took some small arms fires trying to draw us to some IDs along the route. We were set in place, we had mortars laid on, key targets, and as soon as we picked up to move back to Cop Zhary, they opened with small arms fire coming from about 3 to 4 directions. We took a casualty.
Kandahar province, the birthplace of the Taliban, a province prone to insurgent activity. US Task Force Spartan and the Afghan army manned a so-called green zone between the village of Kandalay and the A1, the main drug traffic route from Pakistan to Iran and Central Asia.
Here in Zhary district, the flow of ISAF troops has made it possible to begin to take control of an area where thick vegetation provides good cover for the Taliban.
Several attacks have been launched to this combat outpost in the past 2 weeks. The Americans and Afghan army are on the hunt for 2 insurgent snipers suspected of being responsible for the recent attacks. The Afghan led the joint operation, setting off at 4 o'clock in the morning. The Taliban are believed to have fortified position in the village, protected by minefields. The 287 infantry platoon advanced slowly, inching through pomegranate orchards. The Americans get cover to the NAA. Suddenly, 2 men climbing on a wall are spotted. One of the Afghans is carrying a big bag on his shoulder. It could be an RPG or an AK-47. We don't know yet. The Americans suspect they are getting ready to ambush the military convoy on its way back to base. The platoon fires whatever they can.
Watch out! I had like a clear picture of him with his fucking AK slung like this. He was holding it, turned around, and he looked at somebody. I was like, then I started shooting.
The Taliban set off yellow smoke. The Americans say this is to signal a ceasefire to allow them to collect their bodies. The 2 snipers have been killed. A tornado jet flies overhead in what's known as a show of force.
All of our support, all of our high-speed stuff, all that was just, it was like nothing, you know, in that area. And it was like we're equal to them, and I don't like that feeling.
While the platoon is gathering information, 3 children come from where the Taliban were firing. The Taliban are known to use children to collect information. Soldiers know it. They believe the kids might be sent out to check if any Americans have been injured or killed.
Who's shooting at over there?
The soldier questioned the children as to whether they are spying.
You're not in trouble. Tell me he's not in trouble. I just want to know, that's all.
And although they might be just children, what they are doing could still be helping the Taliban. The fierceness of combat spares no one. The children are transferred to the base, where they will be questioned with other Afghan detainees.
Everybody got back in one piece. The fact that the people saw that the ANA were taking charge and they were leading it, I think that was great. It inspires confidence in the ANSF forces.
Afghan forces will be handed the responsibility of securing their country in 3 years' time. The pressure is on for them to convince the West that they can do it. But what matters more is persuading their own people. Alessandro Pavone, NATO channel with US troops in Kandahar, Afghanistan.